get going here. Let's see. So Arthur's asking, do faceless video ads built using AI tools like Flicky perform better or about the same compared to a video showing your face? Okay, so that's going to depend. They work fine, is what I'll say. So, and like, you don't have to be on, you don't have to be on camera. I like being on camera because, like it's kind of part of the brand, whatever. Like I'm pitching it. I'm on webinars, whatever. It just if you're selling something that is depends on your face. Yeah, definitely. um, so and honestly, like my look definitely turns people off, but it brings people in too. So I mean, it is what it is. But if you are the one kind of delivering, doing some coaching and stuff like that, like it definitely makes more sense for you to connect with your audience by being on camera. If you don't, and you're just doing affiliate products or something like that, there's no need for you to be on camera, and those AI videos will convert just fine, right? So I hope that kind of answers that. But the faceless ads do totally fine. We actually have some of our great ads, like some of our ads that perform really well are literally screen recordings where I'm not on them and it's just like step one, step two, step three, right? That works great with software as well. So, I like to use a mix. I'm on camera because, like I said, I'm selling webinar products and things like that. Like any chance for, like, if somebody actually sees you on the camera, they connect with you a little bit more, right? And so, that being said, if you do have your, if you're on all your trainings and all that kind of stuff, I would recommend being on camera. But if not, if you're just selling affiliate products, faceless, totally cool, right? So yeah, hopefully that helps there. And then yeah, let's go ahead and dig right in. Oh wait, here we go. I don't have a Google Ads set up. When I sign up, it's showing 1,500, not 25. Are you getting that? Yeah. Um, Let me see here. Let me just share my screen again. So if you just go to like ads.google.com, you can see right here. So it's going to depend where you're at. They're offering me 2,500. Sometimes it's 1,000. Basically, what you're going to do to claim that, and I sent out the homework video on that, but you're just going to click claim now, and then it'll have you set up a new Google Ads account, right? So that's kind of what you're going to do there. And let me see here. So it should say, here we go. So here's like some different, you can probably scroll down and see that. And basically, this is kind of the thing they're giving you, right? Sometimes it's just like straight up free money. Sometimes it depends. These ones are like spend X amount and you'll unlock the credit. So yeah, so that's kind of yeah. I don't know why yours would say 1,500. I mean, it also depends on where you're at. Different countries have different things. So yeah, like that. Just kind of see there. Um, let's see. Cool. Cool, cool. All right. So yeah, so basically you want to get that credit though, whatever you want. Definitely do that. And then boom. So when you're, and then Edith is saying, ask for my domain name. I place my landing page, and then for Google Ad Assistant is my domain name, the high level landing page, or my WordPress site. So it's just the domain that you're hosting your landing pages on, basically. Um, so, that is so weird. Yeah, if you're in Fort Collins, Carl, I don't know why it would be, or I think you said, or Colorado Springs, sorry. My bad. Yeah, I don't know why that would be a thing. Mine says 2,500, so yeah, it's going to depend, but they are offering up to 2,500. So, all right, cool. So next we need to talk about actually setting up our boom, setting up our ad and like crafting our ad, right? So we'll break down exactly what parts of the ad there are. And then we'll talk about audiences and tying those into ads. So let me switch over to my boom. Let me see. Let me change my screen to the iPad. Okay, cool. So it's time for us to craft our YouTube ad. So let's break down the actual YouTube ad formula real quick. YouTube ad formula. Cool. All right. So there are a couple of parts to a YouTube ad. Now, actually, let me just show you. I meant to do this real quick first. Let me share a different screen, and then we'll dig into the actual scripting the ad. So if we come over to YouTube, I just want you all to see how all of these work, right? So let me just pick a random ad here and see if we can get, or a video and see if we can get an ad. Of course not. Come on.
Today's actually a really exciting day because we got to unfold one of these units.
So they're letting us pause ads now, which is cool. Anyway, so as you can see here, this is an in-stream ad, right? So we waited 5 seconds, this skip ad button popped up. So this is how these ads are going to look and function. And I just want to show you right here, we've got obviously our call to action right here, start now. They're trying to get investments or something, I don't know. And yeah, you can click start now, right? So that's gonna, if somebody clicks on your call to action, it's going to take you to this page where you can invest in their business, right? So they're soliciting investments, right? So that's kind of how all of this works and what's going to happen here. So we've got our ads; those obviously show up before we go to watch the video that we want, and we've got the call to action here, and a companion banner right here. Theirs is just a warehouse. I'll show you how to set up a much better one there. So that's basically what we're looking at. If somebody clicks skip before 30 seconds or the whole ad, and this is a 53-second ad, if somebody clicks skip, the advertiser is not charged, but obviously I clicked on this, so that's going to kind of count as a view, right? So otherwise, we're 16 seconds in. If I were to just like skip this and go to my video, the advertiser would not pay. So, hey, that looks cool. I want one of these. Anyway, so that's how these ads work, right? So let me jump back over to my iPad and let's explain the YouTube ad script. Let's see. All right, cool. So here's our YouTube ad formula. So there are 3 parts. So we'll do another triangle because we can do that. Actually, I have a better way. Let's see. So there's 3 parts of our ad. And if we nail all 3 of these parts, we are going to win. Right? Okay, cool. So we'll use a Venn diagram here. All right. So the way this is going to work is there's 3 parts to an ad. The most important part, so we'll put that as number 1, is going to be the hook. Right? So the hook is going to do 2 things. Number 1, it's going to hook the right person. And number 2, it's going to push the wrong person away, right? So I like to think of my hook as, basically me calling out my ideal audience. So I might start off with a hook if I'm selling my YouTube or my bookmarker, right? I might say something, or giving away my bookmarker, right? I might say something along the lines of, and this is actually something that worked really well for us. I know that there's a group of people called funnel hackers, right? They use ClickFunnels. And basically, and we'll talk about targeting and tying that into the hook in like 3 minutes here. But basically, if I can tie my hook into my audience that I'm targeting, I'm going to have great results. And we've proven that time and time again by doing that. So with the hook, you want to hook the right person, push the wrong person away. So if I'm targeting people that are funnel hackers, I might just call them out right in the beginning. And I'll say something like, the first step to funnel hacking is finding a winning ad, right? Now, if I'm targeting ClickFunnels users and funnel hackers, they're going to know what funnel hacking is. If it's shown to somebody who's not in that community or doesn't know what that is, they're going to be like, what's this guy talking about? I don't care. Skip, right? So I'm going to hook them, but I'm going to try it on my hook. I'm going to try and speak to my ideal audience, right? So I'm going to hook the right person. If I'm coming up with an ad for my YouTube ad webinar, my hook might be, I want to show you how, I'm just going to have some proof in there, right? I'm going to show you how so-and-so was able to generate $5,000 using simple YouTube ads, just like this one, only they didn't have to be on camera, right? So I'm calling out that, hey, you're going to learn about YouTube ads, you're going to learn to make money, and you don't have to be on camera, right? So something along those lines is what I like to do with my hook, right? Then we've got the body of our ad and educate, right? So in there, I'm just going to explain anything that I can that's going to help people get this knocked out, or get these people to go from my ad to my landing page and opt in. So I've hooked them. I've been like, hey, I'm going to show you the simple YouTube ad formula that generates on-demand leads and sales for your business. Blah blah blah. Right? I've hooked business owners because I'm going to show them that thing. They're like, okay, cool. Then I get into the education part, right? That's where I start to talk a little bit. And also, I'm going to show you how to use AI to do all of this. So don't worry too much, but I do want to make sure that you understand the fundamentals, right? So the body or the education part. So then I might jump into, think about what my key selling points are here. Why would they want to attend my training? Why would they want to download my lead magnet? Why would they want my bookmarker, right? So then I might say, hey, normally when you see a YouTube ad like this one, if you want to save it as a swipe file, you need to, right click, go in Stats for Nerds, copy this, paste it here, do that. There's multiple steps. But what if I told you there was an easier way and you could save YouTube ads with a single click, right? So I've kind of educated them on why my solution is better right there. And then I can break down number 3, which is my call to action, which is basically going to be like, I'm actually offering this software absolutely free. All you have to do is click the link on this video now and tell me where to send it, right? So those are the 3 parts. And when you nail those 3 parts, you get money, right? So when you nail those 3 parts, you're good. If you only nail 2 of them, not ideal. You might still get some money, but those are the 3 things. And when they all overlap together, you have a high converting YouTube ad, right? So let's quickly talk about how to target, right? So let me jump over here, and because we talked a little bit about tying your hook into your actual audience that you can target, right? So we're gonna come over here, we're gonna go Tools and Audience Manager, right? And we'll build these audiences out in a second here, but there's a couple things that we can do, right? So we can come over here to Audiences, and this is where we actually build our audiences up, right? And can everybody see this this screen here? I just want to make sure we're good to go. That I'm sharing the right screen before I dig into all of this. Let me know in the Q&A box real quick. Okay, cool. All right, so we're in our audience manager. So we can basically, there's a couple ways we can target people, right? So we can come over here and we name our audience. We'll build these out in a second here, but I want to show you real quick. So there's a couple ways. There's like your data. This is like retargeting lists, things like that. Those ones that we were building a little bit earlier. We've got custom segments over here. These custom segments are awesome. We'll get to those in a second here. And then we've got like in-market audiences and things like that, life events, detailed demographics, affinity. So I want you to kind of dig into here. And we'll take a break in a minute here and kind of let you dig into this as well. And also, if anybody does want me to show them exactly how I would target their audience right now, let me know. But there's a couple different ways we can do this. Just drop it in the Q&A, and I'll use yours as an example. But yeah, I just want to kind of cover the ways you can target real quick. That way we can tie in how you can target to the hook. And if you can tie that in, you're going to do a lot better, right? Let's see here. So somebody was saying life insurance leads. That's great. So in market audiences, we can come over here and we can actually probably just search for life insurance Oops. This is not, here it is. Okay, cool. There we go. So in-market audiences. What an in-market audience is it's people shopping for a specific product or service. So you can actually target people who are shopping for life insurance plans, max life insurance, whole life term, whatever. Obviously, you probably know a little bit more about that than I do, but here we go. We can literally put our ads in front of people who are shopping for life insurance, right? And then I like to just come in here and look at what these options are, right? So if somebody's shopping for life insurance plans, I can then very safely assume that they are shopping for life insurance plans, right? These are in-market audiences. And Google knows this because somebody might come over to Google and search for life insurance plans. Well, now Google has me in the bucket of people that are shopping for life insurance plans, right? And that all goes in there. And then when I'm targeting these people like me that just did that search are going to show up there, right? So there's a couple ways you can do it there with the in-market audiences. And then there's a few other ways you can target as well. If you can't find something in the in-market audience, there's these custom segments, right? So you can create a custom segment based on a couple of things here. So there's 3 different things we can do. So we can target people with purchase intentions. So I can put like life insurance and stuff in there. People who browse websites similar to lifeinsurance.com or whatever it might be, or people who use apps. I don't know if there's any apps for life insurance, but basically what we can do here is we can come over here to TubeSift, right? When we're building these audiences out, and we can go to the audience builder. And everybody that upgraded to VIP does have the for a 7-day trial to Video Ad Vault and TubeSift. So let me just drop that link one more time here for everybody, so everybody can upgrade now if they want the free trial to this as well. Anyway, so here's how this works. So my product might be life insurance, and my target audience is people shopping for life insurance. Right? There we go. So I'm going to generate a custom segment here. Now, what we're figuring out is basically, and there's a lot of cool things you can do to target, but somebody asked earlier, like, hey, can you target people who are shopping for specific terms on Google? Well, yeah, here we go. Here's like a bunch of them, right? So I can just copy all of these right here, people who search for these terms on Google. And then I can build an audience right here by people who search for these terms on Google, and I paste these here. So these are people who have searched on Google for terms like life insurance, term, whole life, affordable life insurance quotes, policy, best life insurance companies, right? So, and this works with literally anything. You can build these audiences and hyper target people who are actively shopping for these products or services. It's extremely cool, right? Same thing here with purchase intentions. You can throw in like life insurance or whatever. And TubeSift will also, purchase intentions right here. Life insurance shopping, financial planning, retirement planning, investment strategies, family protection, right? These are all things like I would have never thought of any of these. I mean, maybe life insurance, but, there's a lot of other stuff in here like money management, asset protection, financial goals, stuff like that. People who browse websites similar to, right? Life Happens, Select Quote, Term for Sale. These are all websites, and you can actually like check them out. This is probably selling term life insurance, right? There we go, term life insurance quote. So if somebody's on this website, they're literally shopping for this product or service, right? So pretty cool stuff there. So I can come back over to TubeSift, and I can just copy these URLs right here, and I can paste these in here. Now, we're not building these out yet. I'd never come in and just like load this up with like all of this. We make individual audiences. But what I'm trying to convey right now is that these are all of your options for targeting. So if you can make your hook match people that are, or like if you can make your hook match who you're going to be targeting when we actually set our ads up, you are going to do a lot better. You're gonna have a much higher chance of converting somebody, right? So for instance, when I want to target ClickFunnels, right? I can just delete these. If I want to target funnel hackers, I can go to, ClickFunnels login. I can do a Google search for that. I can come over here and I can go boom, and I can go log in, whatever, ClickFunnels Classic, right? So I know that this is the actual login page right here. I'm going to copy that. And then if I paste this into people who browse websites right here, right? ClickFunnels, hit enter, or whatever. Come on. Why is it not letting me? Oh, oops, because I'm in apps. I'm not in websites. Here we go. There we go. So I paste that there. Now I am literally targeting people who are signing into ClickFunnels, right? So I can build these audiences, and then I can come back over here. I also want to target ClickFunnels Classic, right? So I've got my login page. Let's see. Oh, it's not. I'm already logged in, but I can actually just copy that URL there. There we go. Okay, cool. And then I can paste that over here, right? So and you can build different. This has some weird stuff, but there we go. And you can see right here, these people are into marketing, internet and telecom, advertising and marketing and web services. Of course they are. They're ClickFunnels users. They're into marketing, right? So you can build these audiences extremely easily, especially using the TubeSift audience builder. And then it gets really cool. You can actually target people with apps on their phones, right? So here's like Policy Genius, right? I can copy that and I can come over here. Here's apps, right? So I can paste that and I can find, oh, come on. I don't know why it's not showing up, but, I can come over here. Come on. Well, it's doing privacy policy. So let's see. I can come back over here. I can copy the next one, like Lemonade Insurance, right? Boom. So that's an app that we can target. And I can target people who have, here it is, right? Lemonade Insurance on their phones, right? And so, oh, there it is. I really messed that up. There we go. Okay, cool. So now I know that, and this will update in a little bit here, but I can target people who have insurance buying apps on their phone, knowing that, hey, these people are probably interested in that, right? If we're doing weight loss, I can go over here, same thing with the TubeSift audience builder, and I can say, it's a weight loss or whatever, a diet plan for people wanting to lose weight. And there we go. So I can generate a custom audience again of people that want to lose weight. And if you think about it, what kinds of apps are people that want to lose weight going to have on their phone? Well, they're probably going to have like calorie counting apps and things like that, right? So the TubeSift audience builder is then going to go through and be like, hey, you want to hit these websites, or like, hey, MyFitnessPal, Lose It, Noom. These are all calorie counting apps. Nobody counts calories because it's fun. They count calories because they're trying to hit a goal or something like that. So if somebody has one of these on their phone, they probably are looking to lose weight, right? And so, a hook for some of these, if I'm targeting people who have MyFitnessPal, I might think about, okay, what don't people like about trying to lose weight? Well, they probably don't like counting calories, right? And if I can tie in my hook to, if you've tried everything from counting calories to, or if you're trying to lose weight, you've probably tried counting calories, diets, exercise, blah, blah, blah. But there's an actual reason that you can't lose weight. And I'm going to explain that in, my PDF or whatever it might be, right? So you can kind of see how you're going to, how you're going to target based on those things, right? And then the other thing, obviously, is the video search. So we can target with placements. So if somebody's searching for, let's see. Awesome. Somebody says this is one of the best webinars I've ever attended, and I attend a lot of them. Sweet. That's what I'm going for. Let's see here. Let's see. So, homeowners in a specific area. Okay, yeah. So I mean, there's a lot that you can do in here. Um, with these custom segments, but also when we're building these out, we've got like demographics and things like that. So you can target like age, parental status, household income, all that kind of stuff. And then again, we've got like there's a lot of stuff in here that you can go through and dig into. But if we like browse this, we can go, in market audience, detailed demographics, right? You can actually be like, hey, where are they employed? What company size? What industry are they in? Are they construction, financial, healthcare, hospitality, manufacturing, technology, anything like that? And somebody was actually asking, I want to find business owners who are in the wedding space, right? So let's see what TubeSift says. Because basically what I would do here is I like to think of like different industry publications and things like that, right? Like what are like in the construction industry, there's specific like trade organizations and things like that. They all have websites. So I can then target construction owners by targeting websites that construction owners are visiting, trade publications, magazines, anything like that, right? So I can come over here to the audience builder. Let's see what we can find out here. So what is your service? John, you're saying I'm trying to find wedding business owners. What are you actually selling? Sales training. So people, okay, so you're, hope this works. Um, it'll work. But people that own businesses that cater or that there we go. Let's see if we can do this. Help them get leads and close. Okay, cool. So like sometimes these search like you know it kind of helps you. Sometimes it's because that is a little bit deeper than normal. But like, okay, here we go. Wedding planner by the knot. Wedding apps. So they're probably gonna have these on there. And okay, so the cool thing about these these ads, remember, if you're targeting people who are using websites like theknot.com, right? So you can actually come over here and they have, let's see, find a couple. Is this like, nope, that's not what I'm looking for. So you can like look at these websites. I almost guarantee that they have a way for people to advertise on here. Let me see. So wedding websites, registry, marketplace, maybe. Um, Search by vendor name. So there's got to be a way that somebody can sign up for this. Let me see here. Um, let's see. Advertise with us. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, are you a vendor? Here. So, dude, this is sweet, right? So vendors.theknot.com, right? This is a place that people go to advertise on this website, right? These are people that have these products or services. I'm glad I was able to pull that off for a second. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to figure this out, but we're good. So here we go, right? So I can copy this, right? And I know that these people, if I go to a custom segment over here, I can add a new segment and I can go people who browse these websites, boom, right? And this is specifically for vendors, right? And we've also got, weddings, special occasions, event planning, hobbies and leisure, right? So I can target vendors that are advertising on the knot and I can put my ad in front of them, right? Just by doing a very simple ad setup or targeting setup like this, right? And then I would call them out in my hook, right? I'd say something along the lines of, are you tired of all the competition and your ads on websites like The Knot and blah, 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 being buried in a sea of other people? What if I told you there was a better way that you could land clients without having to spend your hard earned money on, this, that, and the other, right? That would be my ad. And then your lead magnet might be like 5 different ways to advertise your wedding services or something along those lines, right? And how to get more leads and actually close these deals. Does that make sense, John? Perfect. Okay, cool. You almost had me for a second. I was like, uh-oh. No, but you can literally target anybody with these ads. And that's the cool thing about this, right? And then the other thing you can do, we'll talk a little bit about placements real quick. But yeah, like you can see, I just got some ideas here, and then I went in. I'm like, okay, cool. Where are the vendors going, right? The other thing you can do is video search. So somebody was saying, let's see, it just says how would I target this on? Okay, financial service organization in the invoice factoring industry, like to target individuals who are CEOs, home healthcare agencies, and staffing agencies. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, okay, so there's a couple things that we can do there. I'll get to that in 1 second, but let me talk about placements real quick, right? Let's say you're selling a product about, how to teach kids to read, just because that popped up and I don't have to type it. We can do a search here. Now, what TubeSift is going to do is going to find all the monetized videos, and parents are on YouTube searching for how do I teach my kid how to read, or 5 tips for teaching a kid how to read, right? Maybe you're offering a PDF that's got 3 exercises you can do at home to help improve your child's reading or something like that. Well, these people that you want to target are also going to be on YouTube watching these videos about how to teach kids how to read, right? And you can see these have like a ton of views, 5 million views on how to teach a child how to read in 2 weeks, right? If we watch this, it's going to, there we go. Like, do you want your child to have the best chance to be successful in school? No ad showed up, but it is monetized, which means we can put our ad in front of it. So I like to look at some of these as well and then see what they all have in common, right? So people are pretty much looking to teach their kid to read in 2 weeks. How to teach your kid 3-letter words, 3 easy steps. So I kind of like look at some of these titles with the most views, right? Right versus wrong way to teach letters, how to teach a child to read in 1 minute a day. So what do all these have in common, right? So 3 easy steps, 1 minute a day, 2 weeks. They have like a time period and the result, right? So in my hook, depending on, what your offer is, you might throw something out like, teaching a child to read can be hard, but these 5 exercises that you can pull off in just 5 minutes a day with your kid will have them reading letters in no time flat, right? Or whatever, right? Something along those lines. I'm making it up here, but you get the point. So that's kind of what we've got there. And so I like to just preview those targeting options prior to going and thinking about my hook, right? So I know that was a kind of a long-winded one there. And then we'll actually talk about that financial services one in a minute here. We can kind of dig into that, but we'll talk about that when we actually set up our ads. We'll build an actual audience for that. But yeah, that's basically how we're going to be targeting these people, right? And there's a bunch of other cool stuff in here. Like if we go to browse, there's life events in here. So you can actually target people who have just created a business, right? Recently started, they're about to start a business. They're going to move, a new pet, they're purchasing a home, they're going to retire, anything like that. And think about it this way as well. There's going to be some overlap. Like if you're just targeting people who are, moving. Well, there's a lot of different moving services. It might be like moving boxes, pack for you, whatever it might be. You just with the fact that people get to skip these ads, you can very easily push the wrong person away with your hook. So you just want to make your hook extremely clear and concise and make sure that you're good to go there, right? Now, the second thing I do when it comes time to actually run our ad or like script our ads, is I like to come over to Video Ad Vault and I just like to see what other ads are out here for us, right? So, let's see. Yeah, and it'll work for Amazon product pages as well. You can literally target whatever you want. Let's see. Cool. So let me see what some of these other examples were, and we'll just kind of pull up we'll script an ad for some of these things here. let's see. Yeah, and like people in specific areas looking to sell their homes, that's an easy one too. We'll talk about that in a minute here, but you can basically target homeowners in a specific area, and then your ad would just say, hey, if you own a home in this area, prices are up 43% over the past 3 years. It's a great time to sell your house, cash out on your equity. We'll actually get you a cash offer or something like that, right? Cool. So let's just find some ads for let's just type in wedding, right? Let's see what we got here. I don't know what's going to show up, but we'll see. Let's see here. So these actually have a ton of views. What is this? So I'll just type in a very basic keyword. So this is a print on demand tool, and they're probably talking about, let's see. Oh yeah, DIY floral wedding invitation. So that's why that showed up there. So that's like something you can do there. Let's see. Sell downloadable lessons plans, blah, blah, blah. So these are people targeting people that want to sell stuff to webinar or to people getting married. Looks like a lot of these are kittles. Let's see, ring sizers, stuff like that. So bulk wedding buys. So basically we kind of search through, we'll try and find something that's working. Honestly, I don't think that you really need to model much there based on the ad that we were just talking about with the hook and the targeting and all that kind of stuff. You can really just kind of wing it. Or you can come over here to the AI script assistant. We can open this up and we can have Video Ad Vault script our ad for us, right? So there's a couple different ways we can do this. Let's see. All right, cool. So let me just use like a webinar, for example, right? So if I'm promoting a webinar, I want to know what the top converting ads for my webinar are, right? And so I could just search, or would be. So I'm just going to do a search for webinar, and I'm going to sort this by views. So here is a 23 million views. That's crazy, right? So this guy is targeting people in the United Kingdom. And basically his ad is, if you want to make a full-time income working from home, this concept, right? So basically I'll just kind of like watch some of these ads and see what people are, let's see, man, it's hitting me with homes now. So, okay, here we go. So we can see what this is.
Working part-time, you need to know this one concept because...
And you can see this is a faceless video, by the way, right? Faceless video, and it has 23 million views. So no, you don't need to be on camera.
Way to make money in UK real estate without ever buying houses and being a landlord. Never.
So you can see he's like got the hook. If you want to make a full-time income from home, working part-time, you need to know this concept. So he's called out people who are wanting to make money online, right? Boom. And then he's like, hey, there's a better way to make money in real estate without the things you hate. Like you don't want to buy a house. You don't want to be a landlord. No problem. You don't need to, right? You don't need money. You don't need credit. You don't need experience. Again, knocking out any objections that people might have in the body of this video, right? And he kind of goes through, he's like, it's all about a simple formula. Here's his education part. He's explaining what people need to know very basically. And I don't know, we don't have to watch this whole thing, but he's like, hey, you do this all with a laptop, right? All you need is a laptop to pull this method off. He's knocking out objections, briefly explaining the system, and there we go. Then he actually jumps on camera, right? But he doesn't, this is actually probably a testimonial. Anyway, so you can see, cool, all from flipping houses online. You can do it from home. Again, you don't need money, credit, experience. Let me show you how. Click one of these links, right? So he has a webinar, and I can actually click the ad link. I can see what he is. So how to use AI to generate more income in 2025 with this unique 100-year-old house flipping model. Flip houses from your sofa without cash, credit checks, or prior experience. It's a webinar, right? So go to the webinar and get a free copy of my book. We opt in here, and you can see exactly how they're collecting leads to do this, right? So I think that's a pretty good ad. Obviously, I don't want to waste a ton of time like digging in, all that kind of stuff. We can do that a little bit later, but digging into different ads. But look, this is scaling. This is working. This is a proven ad formula. So if I like this, I can come over here and I can model this script for my own stuff. So, it's video ad, whatever. The product or service is free YouTube ad webinar. It teaches you how to go from zero to profits using simple AI powered YouTube ads that you don't even have to script or create. Let me see. What are the benefits? You don't need your own product. You don't need to be on camera. Cool. I'm glad all this already has it all for me. Who's my target audience? Aspiring affiliate marketers, experienced affiliate marketers, people looking to make extra income. What do I want them to do? I want them to click the link and register for the training, right? Easy. So you answer a couple of questions again. And what do I want to do? I want to model this ad for, so this is the real estate and TubeSift webinar, right? Cool, sweet. I want to retain the existing tone. I want it to be in English and I want it to be about 150 seconds. Now I'm gonna generate this script. So it's basically gonna use AI, a bunch of prompts running behind the scenes. It is going to, here we go. So here we go. It's like, hey, are you looking to make a full-time income? Obviously, I would change this up a little bit, but this is modeling that exact script where he says, hey, you want to make a full-time income? So it's pulling that hook in, which is cool. I want to show you an easy way to make a full-time income working part-time from home. There's a new and revolutionary way to make money using AI-powered YouTube videos without ever having to create content. We're going to teach you how in a free webinar. No need for your own product, service. You don't need to be on camera. You don't need a large following or a big email list. It's a long-term business opportunity that you can leverage for years to come. It doesn't matter if you're an aspiring affiliate marketer, an experienced one, or someone looking to make extra income. This is for you. You can run it from your kitchen or even a coffee shop. All you need is a laptop and an internet connection, right? So you can see it's like modeling that script for us. You can also just come over here and have it write a new script for you as well. Choose which tone you want, professional, educational, blah, 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 whatever. You can generate these scripts. And then another thing that I really like to do is just come over here to ChatGPT, right? Same kind of thing. And I might say, hey, I need help up with a high converting YouTube ad script, right? And you do the exact same thing, right? This is going to give you a little more generic stuff. Video Ad Vault's more trained on these ads because we have like it analyzing and we have our own prompts running through. So you might have to do some revisions with ChatGPT, but not a big deal there. So from here, I've got my script. I can modify or analyze, right? Because remember, we talked about needing different hooks. So I can come over here and I say, hey, I want new ideas for a hook. Oops, there we go. And I can analyze this. What this is going to do is it's going to spit out a bunch of different hooks for us, right? And I'm going to break down a method that I like to use from, I call it the 5-1-1 method. We'll talk about that in 1 second here, but it's basically how we can take one YouTube ad script and make 5 ads, right? And I guess I don't actually need to draw it out because it's pretty simple, but as you can see here, we have 4 different hooks, right? And this is pretty much what I was saying, I want to show you how Ed, whatever based marketer and others started earning thousands using strategies we teach in this free online training. Are you ready to join them? Right? Just like I was saying, and I like to modify these hooks a little bit, obviously based on my proof and stuff like that. I'd be like, hey, I want to show you how so-and-so got this result using these methods without having to be on camera, blah, 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 right? But it gets you some really good ideas going forward and kind of helps you wrap your head around this stuff, right? From your kitchen or coffee shop, all you need is a laptop and an internet connection and you can start earning. Listen up, right? So there's some cool stuff here. And then we have these 4 hooks, and then we also have this hook here. And for some reason it duplicated that first one, but whatever, we can get some more hooks. It's not a big deal. So based on that, and then also based on our targeting options, right? So if I'm targeting ClickFunnels users or whatever, obviously I want to call out something that they have, like, hey, as a ClickFunnels user, blah, blah, blah. Whoa, just started snowing. Huh, awesome. So anyway, so you can kind of see like how we're coming up with these hooks and thinking about it. And then also with ChatGPT, I I can say, hey, I want help coming up with a high converting YouTube ad script hook, or YouTube ad hook. I'm targeting users of ClickFunnels. Can you suggest 5 hooks that, help me get them on my YouTube ad webinar? There we go. Right. So, and obviously you want to get a little more detail with this, but like, cool. ClickFunnels is great, but here's what they're not telling you. Right. I mean, and that's great. You're literally calling it out right away. Obviously you need a way to tie that into your actual ad. What they're not telling you is that once you build a funnel, you need traffic, right? They don't show you how to get high converting, low risk traffic. You need this, right? Because that's kind of what they're doing there. If you're using ClickFunnels but struggling with traffic, check this out, right? Russell Brunson made me do this and it changed everything. I don't know about that one, but some of them are kind of, AI can do some weird stuff sometimes, but there's some really good ideas that you can kind of get, and then you can be like, cool, help me flesh that out into a YouTube ad script, right? So that is basically what we're doing for these hooks and for scripting our ads. Again, Video Ad Vault does this extremely well. You can just write a new script. You can rewrite scripts. I mean, if you're using like affiliate products or something like that, like Sugar Defender is one of the top ones. Let's do Genius Wave, right? I can search for Genius Wave. I can literally find all the ads promoting Genius Wave. This one has 8 million views. Cool. I can check out their landing page, right? And like you can use a landing page like this, but I would recommend being like, click here and then have a pop-up that doesn't even work. Have a pop-up that's like, hey, give me your email, I'll send you the video, right? So if I like this Genius Wave and I want to promote that, I can come over here and I can just rewrite this script, right? Easy. I can rewrite it. I don't even have to do anything. And I could just generate a brand new script based off of one that has 8 million views, right? So we are good to go, right? Boom. So once we get our script, and obviously, like I said, anytime you're using AI, you're going to want to go through and modify that script a little. AI doesn't matter if it comes from us or from ChatGPT or whatever. There's always some weird stuff. They always like to say like introducing, like just change it so it doesn't sound so AI, but this will get you like 99% of the way there, right? So whatever, let's say we really like this one, right? Boom, we can snag this, we can copy this. Oh wait, we have a copy button. You can copy this, and now it's time for us to actually create our video ad, right? So I'm gonna come over to, and let me drop, I've got a couple of links for everybody. So 2 softwares that I like to use are, where is it? Dun, dun, dun. Bear with me for 1 second here. 2 softwares I like to use are Flicky and InVideo. And let's see, here they are. So you can actually check these out here. I'll drop these in the chat for you right now. So here's 2 links. So honestly, I like Flicky. It's pretty solid. It's right here, right? So this is really cool. Basically, this is an AI video creation software. And if you come to Flicky.ai, I dropped the links in the chat as well. You can save those. You can see pricing. It's $21 a month, or they increased it, was cheaper, but either way, $28 a month for 180 minutes of video. That's awesome. Like, this is great. And they also have a free version, right? So you can literally get like 5 minutes. So you can get like, 2 or 3 videos tested out. So there is a free version as well. I use the standard version. It's great. It gives you 1080 videos, all that kind of stuff, voice clones, all that kind of stuff, right? So we got our script. So all we're going to do is come over here to Flicky and we're going to go script, right? And we're just going to paste that script. Oops. Where'd my script go? Here it is. Boom. Nope. Here it is. Okay. Nope. Here we go. Okay. So I'm just going to copy these results, right? Copy this script here. And we are going to jump over here and we're going to paste our script right here, right? Now, one tip that I have for this, this is too much in one sentence. You want to break each line into an individual line, right? So here we go. So just put these line breaks in here when you're using an AI video creator, because otherwise it'll have like really long sentences, or like it chunks those up kind of weird. So I like to do this and just break it up, right? And here we go. Right on, right on. And here we go. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. And so I just separate individual lines, right? And the reason I do this is because I found out that it works a lot better. Okay, cool. Okay, and then we click next. Now, here's something really cool. So with these new demand gen ads that we're gonna be setting up in a minute, they recommend that you have a vertical video, a square video, and a landscape video. I'm just gonna do landscape for time being, just to like save some time here. But you can basically choose each of these, and I like to make the same video in each format, right? So let's just do that, and then let's skip the template, and we want stock media, and you can choose a voiceover, right? So with the paid plan, you can choose a voiceover. Here's studio voices. You can kind of listen to them, standard voices, ultra voices. So you can like click play and
Flicky helps you create audio and video content using live.
Flicky helps you create audio. Flicky helps you create audio and video.
Let's say I like Gavin, right? Select that. I'm going to submit this. Now, in a couple of minutes here, we are going to have a full-blown video. Now, I'm going to take a real quick break while this is being created so that I can show you. But I just want to encourage you to jump out real quick and use Video Ad Vault for those that have it, or ChatGPT if you don't have Video Ad Vault, and just script up an ad. And then we'll also open up for some Q&A as well right about now while this is creating. It's going to take, I don't know, it's probably going to be done before we have time to, oh, it's done. Anyway, let's see.
Envision unlocking an ancient secret hidden within.
Cool. So you can see, like, it literally makes this extremely fast. And I'll get into targeting in a second. I see a lot of targeting questions coming through. We're going to do that when we actually set up our ad. But I just wanted to show you the different ways to target so you can wrap your head around those, and then you can create hooks that speak to those audiences, right? And actually, let me just show you the 511 method real quick, because this will make a lot more sense if I show you this real quick here. Come on. Okay, cool. So what I like to do is I like to call it the 511 method, right? So 5-1-1. So we're going to talk about the hierarchy of targeting in a minute here and how we should set these up specifically. But what I like to do is I like to go, I take my ad script, right? So we've got your ad script right here. And then what I like to do is that's like one ad script. And then obviously we've got the hook. And then we've got let's pretend this is the body right here. And then we've got the call to action, right? So what I like to do here is I call this the 5-1-1 method. And what we do is we take all of our 5 hooks, right? So we've got hook 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I learned how to count pretty good. So I basically bolt all these hooks on, right? I swap out the hooks. So we have 5 different hooks. You could do 3, doesn't really matter. But what I like to do is go with the five hooks, right? So I'll come up with 5 hooks, and I'll basically swap this hook out for each of these 5. Then I have 5 unique ads, right? So this becomes ad 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So I have all of these right there. Oops. There we go. Okay, cool. So we have 5 ads, right? So 5 hooks, you have 5 scripts. And then what I like to do is go 1 body, 1 call to action. Then when it comes time to actually set up our ads, we have, we'll set up like 3 to 5 different ad campaigns. And each of those ad campaigns is basically one targeting method, right? So one targeting. So one ad might be targeting, or one campaign might be targeting like, websites. Another one might be placements. Another one might be, in market. And we'll set these up in a minute here, but let's just go with 3 for now. And then what we do is we have all 5 ads right here. So we have our 5 ads right here. And then those all get served in each of these ad groups. So basically what we have is, boom, each of these ads get served to each of these. Oops, where's that? There we go. So, all 5 ads will get served to the same audience. And what's going to happen with our hooks is usually one of these hooks, maybe hook number 2, is really going to resonate with websites, right? And we'll start to see that through our analytics. Then maybe hook number 4, oops, I didn't want to erase that. Oh, well, there we go. So hook number 4 might really resonate with the in-market audiences, right? And you'll start to see which hooks are resonating with which audiences, and then you'll be able to scale extremely well that way. So we'll talk about that when we get to actual ad setup, but I just wanted to kind of break that down and explain how all of that works there. Okay. Does that make sense to everybody? And then Paul was asking, do we connect your OpenAI account to our software? No, we have our own in there. And we're good to go. So it all uses our credits. You don't have to pay for, you don't have to link your account up. It's all done through ours because we have all our prompts running behind the scenes that help you craft these ads, right? Okay, cool. So we have our ad right here.
In your
It's good to
own
go.
mind, a dormant power that has been quietly slumbering for over 200 million years in a tiny egg-shaped power.
So this is like too long. I don't think I'd go 11 seconds. So I would take this and I would probably split this into 2. So I would like add a new scene. And what I would do here is I don't like how long that was. I would just go here. I would copy this right here. And I would delete it. And then I would add this to my scene right here, right? So that's kind of how we're doing this. And this will kind of redo it, but you don't want anything that you want fast transitions. You don't want like 12 to 15 seconds of the same thing on the screen. It's boring and you're going to lose people, right? So there we go. So here we go. You can see all the different things. It's processing this, making it, we're good, right? Okay, cool. So we get our ad. Obviously you're going to want to go through this. You can go through and like change out the scenes and stuff by clicking it. You can look for different things to, whatever. Maybe I want this instead, right? I want to select that. I want to plug that in there, right? And you can kind of watch each scene, see what it looks like, all that good stuff. So play around with this a little bit and get yourself a solid ad, and then you just download it, right? So you download it, and then what I like to do is I come over here once I downloaded it, and I just change it. I do a square one, and I do a portrait one, right? And so that's all these with hook number 1, right? That's saved. Then you come through and you swap out your hook, right? You just delete this first line, swap out your hook, and you do the exact same thing. And then boom, 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 you have all of your videos, right? So it's pretty simple. There's a lot of AI video creators. I personally use Flicky and InVideo. I also use Descript, but that's more for like my videos, stuff like that. You can clone yourself. There's so much you can do. Again, that's a little bit more advanced. So we're going to break really quickly, and I'm going to let everybody, get their ad scripted. You don't have to create it right now by any means, but if you have some time, awesome, do it. So let's take like a quick, let's take a 10-minute break. My voice is starting to go out. And then once we get back, this is the last part of the training. So, this is not. We're about to do the last part of the training. So once we get back, we are going to dig into setting up your ad campaigns, right? Because up until this point, we've got our landing page, everything ready. We're good to go. And all we need to do is we'll have our videos right after this. And we can set everything up with like one video, so don't worry about making all of them. You can always add more. I'll show you how to do that. But we're going to build our audiences and get ready to launch those campaigns. So when we come back from the break in 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to build those audiences out. We'll pre-build, we'll talk about the hierarchy of targeting, which audiences you should start with, and we'll build those out real quick. And if anybody wants some examples, come with them. We'll build some audiences out for you. And from there, we will set up our ad campaigns and we will be launched and ready to go. And that's where we're at there. So like I said, I'm going to take a quick break because I need to stop talking for a minute. And we'll go from there. So let's go. We'll do a 10-minute timer real quick. And